Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejados.
Because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Nathan.
And welcome to episode 233 of Adventures and Mousecapades. This week, we are talking with Nathan.
Wait, who?
You.
What? Me?
You.
Aww.
Yeah. We are discussing your solo Disney trip when you were down in Orlando and Key West.
Yeah.
Just the Orlando part, though. We're not talking about Key West.
Key West is off the record.
But I do have to ask. Sorry. Did you have some key lime pie?
Did have some key lime pie.
Okay. That's all that matters, honestly.
At a place called Lola's, which is a Michelin star earning chef from Chicago who quit the rat race and opened his own place, little spot like in an old house in Key West. And it's just him in the kitchen, and the kitchen is like in the main restaurant part. Okay. And he's got his daughter, Lola, is involved as one of the hosts and does some serving. There's another server there, and I think he has like a sous / like dishwasher person who helps out in back. And that's it. They do 2 sittings a night, and it was incredible. And
is there a set menu or
no? It's whatever he picks up at the market.
Okay,
that's
kind of what I mean. Is like you're not ordering anything. There's a set menu.
I think it changes from time to time. Okay. When we were there a couple 2-3 weeks ago now, we had a choice from 5 appetizers and 5 entrees, and it was incredible. And the freaking appetizers were entree sized. Like there was a duck option, and it was like a teriyaki glaze. And I was like, well, I'm going to try that. But they had a braised short rib ravioli.
Ooh.
And I'm like, well, I want to try that too. And the server is like, well, get both. I'm like, no, it's like a Disney cruise. This is awesome. And so I got both, and they're both like entree sized. I'm like, okay, this is insane.
But delicious, I hope.
But delicious.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the key lime pie, like the desserts were insane.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, if you have a Michelin star chef tackling key lime.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
All right. So the meat of this conversation is going to be talking about your Disney portion of this trip.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about the amazing band that was at the Green Parrot next door to where we were staying.
No, I thought we weren't. I just wanted to ask about the key lime pie, and then
fair.
You just dove into other stuff.
I will add, though, just since I have the floor, Trey Pierce and the T-Stones, if you ever are in the Southeast and have an opportunity to hear them live at, some club or bar or whatever, do yourself a favor and go. They are insanely good.
All righty then.
There you have it.
All right. So for your Disney portion of all of this stuff,
yes,
this was a solo trip, or did you meet up with the crew while you were there in the parks?
No, I went by myself.
Okay.
And dear Mickey, I have sinned. It took me a week and a half to actually make it on property into one of the parks after being there.
There's other stuff going on. You were visiting with friends.
We're visiting with friends.
Yeah.
Did get a chance to go to Disney Springs.
Okay.
Before the trip down to Key West. I was down in the Orlando area. I flew down the Saturday right before Memorial Day and was there through the Sunday, June 7th. So I was there for like 2 full weeks. And I went to Splitsville with Bill and Rachel from HR, for the first time. I'd never been to Splitsville, and it's one of their favorite.
Really good. I think we've never been either.
No, it's one of their favorite places to go.
Yeah.
At Disney Springs, and this is a hot take, and I stand by it. The chicken tenders at Splitsville I actually think are better than the ones on Disney Cruise Line. And I love the ones on Disney Cruises. These were insanely good. So there's that.
I wonder if they're made in-house. I know the ones on the cruise line have to be frozen.
Sure.
So I wonder if there's the freshness change
maybe.
for them. Who knows? Who knows?
Maybe. They're so good. So good.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, the parks. I didn't get to the parks until I think it was like the second week, like the Wednesday or Thursday. No, it was the Thursday, like the Thursday and Friday, right before I left on the flew home on the Sunday. That was the 2 days that I spent in the parks.
Okay.
Just spent the rest of the time lollygagging around and hanging out with friends and not being on property. So
that's fine.
Yeah.
So was the goal of going on property at Disney relaxing, rides, food, or a little bit of everything?
A little bit of everything. So I started off at Animal Kingdom because there was some food there that I wanted to go have.
Okay.
And there's a couple rides that are interesting. And yeah, that's where I went first.
Okay. I'm going to change it up, though. I'm going to start at Hollywood Studios because I know you went there.
I did go there. In fact, I went there in the evening after Animal Kingdom.
Okay. What was your first move when you walked in?
Well, my first move when I walked in was to go over to the lounge there at the Brown Derby.
Okay.
Because I wanted to see if I could get on the wait lists and, have an old fashioned there in the park, or at least get something at the outdoor bar.
Yeah.
And the wait list was closed and full, and it never reopened the whole rest of that night. And I was kind of bummed about that.
Did you go to Baseline instead?
I did go to Baseline instead, and I was killing time because I want to say like around lunch that day, I decided that, hey, I should just get a lightning lane for the day, multi-pass. And I basically treated it like a one-time access pass because I wanted to make sure I was going to get on the refurbished Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets. And so that was the one thing that I wanted to go do. And by the time I purchased that lightning lane, like all of the other interesting rides had already were out of passes and all the rest of that stuff, or were in the same class of ride as Rock and Roller Coaster. So I couldn't do Rock and Roller Coaster and Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway as a pre-book before I tapped into the park. And by the time I got to that park, it was too late. I did everything about managing a lightning lane multipass absolutely wrong.
You basically got it as your single, not single rider, but your single ride.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I treated it like a lightning lane single pass because I forgot and didn't think about any of the rules. Like if I was thinking, I would have got this 3 days early and been able to do multiple rides and passes and all the rest of that stuff. I was also working those days, and so I wasn't exactly sure when I'd be making it over to the parks.
Yeah.
I'm still, recovering. My knee's a lot better than it has been. In fact, I wound up walking a lot. I did not do a cart. I did bring my cane, and that helped a bunch, but I didn't know how much stamina I'd have, and I didn't know when exactly in the day I'd be able to head over to the parks. And so it wasn't ideal, but it all worked out.
All right. So you got to experience the updated Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets.
I did.
What did you think?
I loved it.
Awesome.
They have absolutely not refurbished the track. I mean, they didn't. It wasn't down long enough to do that. But I was definitely sitting there going I could see this track needing to get replaced on the next major refurb within, which I think is 5 years out. If I remember hearing somebody was talking about that. And they were saying the average lifespan of a roller coaster's track is and I don't remember, I was like 25 or 30 years.
Yeah.
And they're like, and that's going to be somewhere around 2030, and they're going to have to like completely refurb the whole thing.
And they just did that with Big Thunder Mountain Railroad in
Yes.
Magic Kingdom.
Yep. And
Which I
everybody's
know-
saying it's incredibly smooth and a
Yes.
joy to run. Rock and Roller Coaster, you're still bumping around and getting thrown a little bit. And but it was fun. The theming that they have done on that ride and the pre-show and everything is just so special. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Awesome. I know there has been some regarding the pre-show. I know there has already been some issues with the pre-show. Like sometimes the scooter animatronic at the beginning has disappeared, and they're using a screen because he's apparently going down every once in a while.
Interesting.
Yeah. But it was up and running for you?
That I could tell. I had a show for everything. Okay. There were no hiccups, no issues. And it was a 115, 120 minute wait. And I did Lightning Lane, and I want to say that took me 20 minutes or
not
so.
Not bad at all. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. It was definitely a significant savings.
I haven't really looked at a lot about the update for Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets, but I know there was a list ahead of time of the songs that they were going to do for it.
Yes.
Now, is this a rotational thing, kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, where you get a specific song, or are they doing all of them at once?
No, it is a specific song.
Okay.
I got Walking on Sunshine with Electric Mayhem featuring Kelly Clarkson.
Nice.
The other ones are Song 2, which is the woohoo.
Yeah,
that song. Born to Be Wild featuring Camilla the Chicken, which those two would have been my tops. Actually, these three, they're all really good. Love Roller Coaster.
Makes sense.
Electric Mayhem featuring Jennifer Hudson and Questlove.
Oh, nice.
That would have been pretty darn cool. And Rock Till You Drop featuring Def Leppard. Along with the Electric Mayhem would have been pretty cool. But yeah, if memory serves, like there was so much to take in.
Yeah.
But when you sit down, that's when you get from the initial loading, and then they do that stop to do the checks and stuff like that. That's where kind of like the show audio starts.
Okay.
That's when it's like, hey, it's going to be, special guest Kelly Clarkson. I was like, okay, and now I know which song it's going to be.
That's cool.
Yeah. And the sign, like the road sign, the highway sign that's over like the tunnel, like where you do that
tells you to put your
launch.
head back and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. That's digital now. Which I don't think was a screen before. It's been a hot minute.
It was a screen of some sort.
Okay.
Because it definitely was.
Okay. Well, it looks new. It looks amazing. The graphics and everything, like all of the little nods and everything that they've done, like they've redone that whole back alley thing across the way from you as you come out of the entrance, and across the way there's a comedy club across the way, and then there's a little mini door like next to it called with a sign over it says it's the Squeakeasy. Because it's basically a speakeasy for rats. Like just all of the touches are incredible and just so amazing.
And I've heard Statler and Waldorf are still there, and they are still bolted to the seats.
Yeah, they are towards the end of the ride.
Okay.
Like, as you are, like there's a stop point before the exit of the dismount or whatever you want to call it. And they're kind of like at that corner. They're in like it's funny. They're in like an RV kind of like camper van kind of thing with like a big open window. And that's where they're sitting.
That's cool.
It's all so very, very well done. There was an actual fantastic picture. I'm looking at my pictures here. There's a framed like photograph print of and it's in like black and white, like sepia, of Rolf singing in like the 60s, like in a studio. Like I snapped a picture of it. Like if I could ever find that somewhere, I would 100% buy that and hang it somewhere in our house. Like it's so cool.
Did the update change where the ride ranks for you in Hollywood Studios?
That's a great question. Like I really liked the Rock and Roller Coaster with Aerosmith. It was getting a little long in the tooth just because Aerosmith's not in the
they're not current anymore.
The cultural milieu, if you will.
Oh.
Yeah, big words here. I don't know that I've ever had a ranking of rides in my head in studios. So to really specifically answer your question is really difficult. It will continue to be one of my favorite rides with the loop and everything that's in it as I get older. Like it is one that I am... I didn't get to the point where I was feeling queasy. There was one point where I was like, okay, I'm still okay here. I think the Muppet version of this will make me want to push through those feelings more and want to experience this. This is definitely a must, like on a must-do list for me.
Yeah.
When we're in Hollywood Studios. Where Rock and Roller Coaster, I know we've missed on a couple times in that park, and I've not really felt horrible about it.
Yeah.
I want to do Rock and Roller Coaster with the Muppets every time we're there until it makes me feel horrible.
Yeah.
It's interesting when I was getting banged around a little bit in a couple of the turns, what went through my head that I remember now is I thought like, I will still love this ride, but I will love it even more when they refurbish the track and it smooths that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it really is the banging around that made me feel the most uncomfortable, not the loop.
Yeah. Well, and as technology has been updated just with amusement park rides, with theme park rides, stuff has gotten so much smoother. Just the technology and the engineering and how it's all built has gotten better.
Yeah.
I wonder if we should start seeing if a relief band or something would help you out.
Yeah, maybe. It might be worth trying.
Yeah.
It might be worth trying. It's just one of those things about getting older.
Yep.
I did notice, like I was able to get in just fine. One of the cast members took my cane and they walked it over to the exit. So I didn't have to like fold it and put it on the floor or anything.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I did struggle getting in just a touch. And it was most of these rides, most of the roller coasters that we've been on, it's more of a straight entry into the ride, or it's a step down into the seat. And where I struggled was getting my left foot high enough to get over the side of the ride vehicle.
Oh, okay.
And it took me a couple tries to like, oh yeah, okay, I got this. So it was worth it. I'm still glad I did it. It was just amazing. And there was a gorgeous sunset that was happening. And so I got some really good pictures. I saw some other pictures from that night that were on social media of people who clearly had better cameras and a better viewpoint than I did. And it was stunning. It was absolutely gorgeous. And speaking of the weather, there was a weather system that pushed through Florida earlier that week. And the last half of the week, like the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, was warm. Like it was in the upper 80s to maybe touching 90 degrees on the Saturday, but there was no humidity and there was a breeze going. It was like peak Florida weather. If it could always be like that, like we would have zero issues doing parks.
Yeah.
But the humidity does, of course, come back and it makes it just insane.
Yeah. Did you hit Villains Unleashed at all?
I didn't. By the time I got over there, the last show of the day had already happened. I think it was at like 5:30 or something. Okay. I think it was a 5:30 show because when I had a 6 o'clock lightning lane, and when I was walking over towards Rock and Roller Coaster, there was a flood of people walking out from, out down Sunset.
Yeah.
Clearly coming from behind and past the Tower of Terror. And I was like, oh no, did Rock and Roller Coaster go down? And it wasn't that. It was the last show of villains getting out.
Okay. One of the other updates that they've done recently over in Hollywood Studios is the Animation Courtyard area. They took out the huge arch over there. It's like where Star Wars Launch Bay was. And they had that huge arch that just said Hollywood Studios. That is gone now. They are kind of reopening this in fits and starts. But right now, the Animation Courtyard is open. It's a grassy area, has different characters in just little statues around there. How is that? What did that look like?
I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I know listening to some other podcasts that love to delve into the nostalgia of things and, hate change because it's not what they remember, that getting rid of that arch was, again, to some, a very controversial thing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's like when they got rid of the sorcerer's hat.
Yes. Well, ironically, the sorcerer's hat to a degree is back.
Yeah.
Because the sorcerer's hat is now above the main entrance to one of the spaces that's there in Animation Courtyard. So there is a 35, 40 foot tall hat over there for your viewing and pictorial pleasure. But frankly, having those arches gone opens up that whole view of what's back there, and it doesn't make that space feel as closed in and cramped and constrained. And frankly, I think will invite many more people back into that corner of the park than ever went back there before.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look like it is back in some office space, which is what it used to be, that wasn't meant for the park guests to be in. I actually think this is a fantastic change. And they've made it styled after a lot of what's in the Burbank Disney studios. And it doesn't look like the studios there, but it is absolutely of that theme. And they have this gorgeous little grassy area. They have beautiful brickwork, and the sign is just stunning. One of my favorite things that's back there, they have little character statues, kind of like on overhangs, or there's a couple places right in the grass where there's I think it's Hey Hey and Pua, or that's not right. There's Thumper and Pua.
Yeah, it's unlikely duos, really.
Yes. And it's just such a really cool touch. And I love that they brought the concept of character footprints and handprints over. So you see on, Hollywood Boulevard in California, you've got celebrities who will, leave their handprints and things like that and sign in the concrete.
They have those over by Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway too.
They have them by Mickey and Minnie's, and they're actual, actors and things like that who have been involved in Disney shows. These are animated characters.
Oh, cool.
Who have left their signature and prints in the sidewalk. So you've got Wreck-It Ralph and Ursula and Cinderella. Cinderella is amazing because it's a left footprint of a high-heeled shoe, and then the right foot is a very demure actual footprint.
Oh.
Mufasa and Simba, that one will make you cry because it's this little paw print inside a bigger one. Yeah. There's the Beast and Belle. Yensid is over there. Pocahontas and Oswald. Bruno's over there. It's Mirabelle's over there. There's just...
That's cool that they've done that.
It's really cool. Maui and Moana. I could go on. It's worth going to see. It's very, very cool.
And that area is not done. There's still other things that they're going to be adding over there. Interested to see it all.
Yeah. I think this is where a lot of the animation show is going to be over there. You're going to have the Disney Junior kind of more slant over there. I think it's a really fantastic spot. It reminds me especially with the kind of grassy courtyard, and I can't remember if it's AstroTurf or grass. I think it's AstroTurf. Well, it's not AstroTurf, but it's fake grass. It reminds me very much of the bigger space that they've put in over in Toontown in Disneyland, where it's really made for a place for families to hang out and decompress and have some spot where the kiddos can run around and burn off some energy. It really gives off that kind of vibe.
Nice.
And, and it is another spot it is a new spot rather, for a photo pass opportunity, because you can go up, and I had my picture taken, with the studio and the sorcerer's hat behind me. Like nice. It's just a really gorgeous space, and I love seeing it get used way better than it was before. Because as much as I am a Star Wars fan, and there's nothing like waiting in line for 15 minutes to get a Wookiee hug on your birthday. This is a better use of that whole space. And I'm very excited to see how this continues to grow and evolve.
I've seen a couple of things just through socials and maybe some blog posts that there's a lot of really good character interactions there too. Not necessarily the meet and greets thing, but just the roaming characters. Like they've started doing roaming characters over there like they do in Disneyland. Yeah. Which is
again, good. I was there in the evening, so I didn't get a chance to experience that. Those things typically are happening, in the mornings and the afternoon, but I could totally see that happening, and it will feel like a very natural extension of that space, because to tell the kind of an Imagineering level story, this is the Animation Courtyard. This is the animation studio where Cinderella and Oswald and Yensid and Pocahontas and, Hercules and Pegasus, this is where they're making their movies and their shorts. And so this is where those kind of characters are going to go hang out. It makes a lot of sense.
Cool. All right. Did you get your grilled cheese?
I did not.
Oh, no Woody's Lunchbox this go round.
Did not go back to Woody's Lunchbox. The rides over in the Toy Story area were out of lightning lanes. I had spent earlier in the afternoon a bunch of time over at Animal Kingdom, and just was not up for a ton of aimless wandering around. I did want to go see some things. But I didn't go that direction, because that was opposite direction of where I wanted to go, and really focused on the Muppets ride.
Did you hit anything else while you were there, or is that mainly it? Because I know it was a truncated day there. I understand.
It was a truncated evening. Yeah, I was only there for maybe a couple hours, 2-3 hours. It was really like I took some time and just had a snacky dinner over at Baseline, and then toured the Animation Courtyard a little bit, and did the Muppets ride, and then and kind of meandered my way back on out.
All right. Well, you started this day over at Animal Kingdom, which we all know means one thing. Did you go to Nomad Lounge? Oh,
yeah. I thought you were talking about the barbecue there over at Flame Tree Barbecue. I mean, because that's where you go for a good, dinner. No, that's not. No. Yes, I did make it over to Nomad Lounge. That was the primary goal, but I did need to have kind of lunch/dinner, late lunch, early dinner, or
you needed your healthy meal, right?
I needed dinner. Yeah, exactly. So I went over and had Flame Tree. They're kind of half and half barbecue platter. Actually, it's not half and half. There's like 3 different kinds of barbecue on there, and that was absolutely fantastic. I usually do that with a beer. I didn't get a beer. I got a bottle of water because I had a cane.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was okay. It was just,
I will say,
wish I had a beer.
you can always ask for assistance.
I know, but
And
I
you
don't
didn't,
like-
did you?
No,
you
I
didn't.
didn't.
No,
I thought about
you
it, and
didn't.
I
You
knew
should have
this is
done
the
it.
conversation that we were going to have. I knew I would get flack for this.
They
I
are
didn't wanna-
happy to help.
I didn't want to be a burden.
It's not being a burden. And you
Okay.
missed out on a beer.
I did miss out on a beer.
But you went to Nomad.
I went, I made up
Yeah.
for it because I did go over to Nomad. It was a 5-minute wait, and it was enough time for me to go use the restroom over there at Tiffin's, and then they were ready to seat me, and I had a beautiful two-top right on the railing outside under a fan. It was glorious. I had a Congaloosh beer and the churros there. The churros are gluten-free. I will shout it from the mountaintops. That means they are healthy and good for you.
That's why I said this is your healthy meal.
Absolutely. And then I had another beer because I had I was kind of at that point killing time before I headed over to Hollywood Studios and things like that. Although I did take the opportunity while I was at Animal Kingdom to do a couple rides.
Tell me what you did.
Well, one of the first things I did, actually, I think it was before I actually had dinner, I went over and enjoyed the brand new show in the Tree of Life Theater. That is the Zootopia Better Zoogether
Together, nice
show. And it was cute. It's a heck of a lot better than the Bugs Life show.
It's tough to be a bug.
It's tough to be a bug. It was very cute. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun.
Nice.
It's not on my must-do list.
Yeah.
It's a great filler ride. And that's about all I have to say about that.
Alrighty.
It was a cute story.
What else did you do?
I saw Kevin as I was walking
Oh,
around.
nice.
In fact,
Kevin is from Up. Kevin
is from
big,
Up.
huge, bright bird.
In fact, I saw Russell and Kevin.
Wow.
They happened to be kind of in the same area as Kevin, the bird, was coming out. And Russell was there talking with a couple younger ladies and got all excited when Russell saw Kevin and basically yanked and pulled this one younger woman by the arm over to introduce her to Kevin. It was the cutest interaction ever. It was very awesome. And then I went over to Nomad, and then I went over to Expedition Everest and saw Disco Yeti.
Disco Yeti.
Yeah. Absolutely love that ride. Very, very, very good. And I walked back up towards the front past where Tropical Americas will be, past all of the giant construction site. And very, very interesting. That is a big, big building that they are putting up right now. Casita is going to be large.
Nice.
That is for sure. And very interesting. I'm pretty sure based on some of the artwork that was on the construction walls, I think Casita is in the Doctor Who universe because there was a sign there that says it's even bigger on the inside.
Oh.
And it had a picture, like an illustration of Casita above that. So I think Casita is a
Has
TARDIS.
TARDIS technology. Well, doesn't travel in time and space, but does have the transdimensional insight.
I mean, that is magic.
Okay.
That is magic.
Was all the Bluey stuff open while you were there?
The Bluey
was that
stuff
after?
was open, I believe. It had opened that Monday,
Okay.
and I was there on the Thursday. I did not venture back in that direction for obvious reasons.
Probably a good call.
Yes. I did not attempt to get on the virtual queue. It's not something that I wanted to do. That said, from what we've heard, it does sound like the virtual queue and the logistics there are doing a lot better than people had feared it might, but still a very popular thing and a place to be, and not necessarily my demographic.
Yeah. Any other rides while you were there?
No, I just did those two. And then I just did the one ride over at Hollywood Studios. So it was a 3-ride afternoon and evening. But I still got my steps in. I did 5 miles.
Wow.
According to my Apple Watch, and was ready to be done at that point.
Understandably.
Yeah.
All right. So you did Epcot on the other day, right?
I did. The next day I went to Epcot and didn't necessarily have a huge list of things that I wanted to go do. I did earlier in the morning on that Friday do a lightning lane, and I got a few assigned. I got, let's see, what did I do? I did Spaceship Earth. I did Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. And what was the other one I did? There was
Cosmic Rewind?
No. No. I did Soarin' Across America.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I did not know you did that one.
I did.
All right.
And yeah, it was all very good. And I actually ended up riding on the Finding Nemo ride as well, dark ride.
Okay.
So yeah, I did a few. And I had lunch for the first time that I have been there over at Tutto Italia, which is kind of a nicer Italian restaurant there back in Italy on the World Showcase.
Yes, we haven't done that one.
No, it was very good. So yeah, I got into the park. I did Spaceship Earth first because it's right there.
Yeah.
And then I walked, I went backwards.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Very important question.
Oh, yes.
Did you thank the Phoenicians?
Of course I thanked
Okay,
the Phoenicians.
good. That is mandatory.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then I walked, I went right. I went backwards because this was not a drinking around the world adventure.
You went over to Living with the Land and did Soarin' and all that stuff.
Well, Soarin' was the last thing I had.
Oh, okay.
So I actually went.
You doubled back.
The next thing that was on my list was Remy's.
Okay.
And so I did Spaceship Earth and then went right past Canada. I may have stopped in the UK for a beer at the pub.
May have.
Okay. And then I went to Remy's, and this is the first time that I have been on Remy's since the 3D effects have been discontinued. So you don't need the glasses anymore.
It's regular 2D now.
It is regular 2D now. You don't have the issue with 3D screen effects not matching up with what your body's doing, because that is a guaranteed ticket to motion sickness.
Yeah, this is one of the very few rides that I got motion sick on.
It was actually quite fantastic. It lived up to everything I thought it could be and wanted it to be. After riding it with 3D a couple times and going like, this could be a really great ride, but I feel horrible and I hated it.
Yeah.
And it is a wonderful experience when you don't have that mismatch between 3D and physical motion. I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
I highly recommend it. If folks who are listening have ever done Remy's when it was 3D and didn't like it because of some motion effects and things like that, give it another chance. It really has breathed new life into that attraction. Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
And you also did Soarin' Over America.
I did.
How was that? I have heard conflicting reports from folks on this.
I did Soarin' Over America, and I actually liked it. I thought it was great. There's not the smell-o-vision aspect of the other two shows. So there is, I think there was one scene that had some smell in it. I can't remember which that one was, but I didn't think it was horrible. I think the use of special effects and some CGI that's on there is way better done than on some of the other ones where it was very obvious that some things were being added in. I didn't really have a problem with it. Could there have been more things to represent more of America? Sure, but they're also trying to cram all these things into a ride that is in a movie that is still the same length as the other ones. These aren't vast experiences. So, I think it would have been cool to have some more stuff about, Washington, D.C. or Philadelphia or Boston, or like just show some more things. It wasn't there. It was still very enjoyable.
Yeah.
I mean, Soarin' is a great ride.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Attraction. Forgive me.
You are forgiven.
Yes. I did live with the land as well.
Oh, of course. You
while I was in
have
the-
to. You have to do that.
Mandatory.
It is a good one. One of these days we should do the behind the seeds tour.
Yeah. In fact, I'm pretty sure there was a behind the seeds tour happening while I was in there on the boat, and there were folks at a table, not next to the water, but clearly getting some refreshment samples, if you were. And I could have used a drink. It would have been great. But.
Now, we did something, I think it was on one of the VIP tours that they don't offer anymore, a long time ago. And we got to go, I'm fairly certain, somewhere back behind all that area. It was not a behind the seeds tour. I vaguely remember seeing like a boat scene, like they'd used something for like, I think it was 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea or something like that.
I think this was
that in Hollywood Studios?
I think you're thinking of. I'm with you. I'm tracking with you. This was when we did. I forget what it was called. It was something like the Adventure VIP Thrills and Adventure Tour or something like that. And it was you hit all the biggest rides in all of the parks, and there was a private van transportation between the parks that went backstage, and I'm pretty sure the van picked us up or dropped us off in Epcot back behind the land.
It was like right around there. Yeah. One of these days we'll do the behind the seeds.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there a festival going on while you were there?
There were no festivals.
Oh, dang it. I thought you were there at the tail end of something.
No, I did. I missed Flower and Garden.
Okay.
And there was no festivals, which meant that there was no frozen limoncello margarita. I was distraught.
Yeah.
I did stop and see Mickey and Goofy at the Disney Visa photo op opportunity. So that was fun, and it was a good day. And then I had originally thought of maybe trying to do like Epcot on the Saturday, and I was going to do like Magic Kingdom on the Friday. And I just decided like I really wanted to just go do Epcot instead. Because with an annual pass, you have to have a Magic Kingdom reservation. And actually, I could have had a reservation. I just didn't, and I felt okay. Like it's fine. Saturday was definitely the hotter of those 3 days that I kind of had free, and so I spent the day lounging outside next to our friend's pool and taking a couple swims and chilling out with all the puppers. So
awesome.
I had their dogs are just so amazing, and I miss them dearly.
Well, was there anything that stood out the most about doing Disney solo this time?
I I don't know about stand out. It was definitely a reminder of the park experience can be really amazing and magical when you don't have any pressure on you to go do a thing.
Yeah.
There was no debating of who wants to go do what, and the kids want to do this and all. Like it just, if I wanted to go do something, I went and did it. If I decided, you know what, I'm going to skip that other park, I did it and nobody complained.
Yeah.
It is, we've talked about this on the show before. Like, it is a very privileged point of view and perspective on going to the parks, especially when you have an annual pass.
Yeah.
That and have been there a bunch. There's no pressure to go do a thing. Like, you can just enjoy the vibes. And I enjoyed the walk. I did another 5 miles around Epcot, full lap around the world, and it was a fantastic day. And there's a bunch of stuff I didn't go do, and I'm okay with that because I know over time I will be back. I will do some of those things. There will be other festivals.
Yeah.
It's just, it was a reminder that being there by yourself doesn't have to be a weird or awkward experience. It can be whatever you want it to be. If you're by yourself and you want to go do a bunch of rides, then you can go get in the single rider line, and you're not leaving anybody behind. You don't have an issue about getting broken up with somebody. It is very interesting how many groups or families get in single rider lines.
Well, yeah.
Those single rider lines, I don't think are as much of a shortcut as they used to be.
Nope, they're not.
Because there are big groups getting in the single rider line, and they just don't care that they're not riding all at the same time.
Yep. Makes sense.
That was an observation.
Yeah. No, there's, I'm pretty sure on a couple, I don't know, one of the podcasts or a couple of the podcasts that we've listened to, that's been talked about. Like, single rider lines sometimes take even longer than the regular standby, just because people are trying to just get on there, and it doesn't save you any time.
Yep. And I think the other learning that I had, it's not necessarily a Disney learning, but we have avoided the early morning flight home from Orlando in the past, and we've taken I think it's a 5 or a 5:30 p.m. flight out back to Seattle rather than the 8:30 or 9 a.m. flight, just because we didn't want to have to get up early and things like that. I did the early flight coming home, and it was actually really quite enjoyable. Yes, I had to get up earlier and get to the airport and everything, but the Delta Lounge was relatively empty.
Yeah.
And it was glorious. Now, the downside. In Florida, evidently, you can't serve alcohol on Sundays before 9 a.m. And so I was not able to acquire a mimosa at the bar in the Delta Lounge before my flight. And I was quite put out. These are the sacrifices we make.
These are the sacrifices we make. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think we had avoided doing the early flights also before because our kids were younger. And I think now that they're a little older, it's easier to do that.
And I also think we were trying to maximize our time with friends.
Yes. Yeah.
So we'd get back from a cruise on a Saturday, and we wanted to just have more time with everybody. And these are all valid decisions.
Yeah.
And if you really want to get that mimosa at the lounge, you're going to need to take the evening flight.
Or not go on a Sunday.
That's also true. Yes, I could have stayed till Monday. You're right.
Yes. Anything we missed? Anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think so.
Right.
There are a couple funny things that we were talking about with our friends there locally, especially about Key West. I think as great as the one band I was mentioning was, we came across this other vocal and guitar duo, a couple of young women who were just horrible.
Everybody has to start somewhere.
Everybody has to start somewhere, but it was to the point where there was a group that walked into the bar and heard them singing, and I heard somebody just go, abort, abort, abort. They all walked out. So as I muttered to the bartender and he kind of lost it, I said, well, somebody's parents were a little too supportive.
It does happen, I guess.
It does happen. Hey, but we all start somewhere.
This is true.
Yes. Just maybe don't start at a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as we wrap up, a reminder that we are not affiliated with Disney or any of their subsidiaries. Everything you hear on the show is based on personal experience, opinions, and questionable snack choices. We are, however, proudly affiliated with fun.
And mimosas.
And mimosas.
If you're planning a Disney vacation, we always recommend working with a travel advisor or reaching out to Disney directly to help make the magic happen. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please take a second to rate and review the show. It really helps other Disney fans find us.
If you have a question, a topic suggestion, or a Disney story that you'd love to share, please send us an email at podcast@ourmousecapades.com.
You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Threads over at Our Mousecapades, and on YouTube at Our Mousecapades Pod. And don't forget to share us with your friends, your family, and Disney fans of all ages.
Thank you so much for listening. We will be back in your ears next week.
Thank you for flying Star Tours. Bye-bye.